All right. Last set of problems for the night for me. Still in section 6.2. We're going over example 6.21. And now we're going to look at something called the substitution method. Substitution method. What the heck is this? Okay. So every trinomial we've been dealing with so far has been of the form. They have all been of the form ax squared plus bx plus c. So we only use the substitution method. We only use the substitution method when our trinomial is not in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. So our trinomial is x to the fourth minus 4x squared minus 5. So don't freak out. It's actually pretty straightforward. Our first step, and let's think about this for a second before we do our first step. Wouldn't it be nice if we could get this to look like this? Okay. So the major differences here is in this one we have an x squared and an x. Here we have an x to the fourth and an x squared. Okay. So I'm only going to be messing with these variables. Okay. The numbers are fine. Let's mess with the variables a bit. So I'm actually going to create a variable of my own. I'm going to create a u and I'm going to set u. Okay, so I just created this variable u, setting u equal to x squared. Now bear with me. So now that we've set u equal to x squared, we are going to plug in u everywhere we see an x squared. Okay, so we'll skip this first one and we'll look here. So we have our minus 4, and we know x squared is now equal to u, so we can put a u in for x squared. Minus 5, there's no variables associated with our minus 5, so we're good there. But now over here, you might already be saying to yourself, oh, x squared squared gives me x to the fourth. But if you didn't know that, you could come over here, you could write your u equals x squared, and you can say, okay, well, I'm trying to get to an x to the fourth, so how do I get from x squared to x to the fourth? And you might say, oh, square it. Well, when you square one side of an equation, you need to square the other. So here you're left with u squared is equal to x to the fourth. And now we have something we can work with. So we have x to the fourth, and we know x to the fourth is equal to u squared. So go ahead, plug that u squared in. So now we have u squared minus 4u minus 5. And this looks a lot like the form we were trying to get it into, ax squared plus bx plus c. So now the same rules apply as before, all the other ones we did. So I'm trying to find two numbers that multiply to be negative 5 and two numbers that add to be negative 4. Okay? And for time's sake, let's say it's negative 5 and 1. Oh, looks like it is. So those are our two numbers, negative 5 and 1. Okay? And we can actually jump to our answer on this one. Jump to our answer. And that's because we didn't have to use the AC method. When you use the AC method, you can't jump right to your answer because you're actually doing a bit of grouping. But here we have u minus 5, u plus 1. Okay, I lied. We can't, this isn't our answer. This isn't our answer. We need to plug in our x squared back into our equation everywhere we see a u. So let's do that. You end up with x squared minus 5, x squared plus 1 for our final answer. You could multiply that out to check. We're not going to do it. Last one. Last one. Example 6.22. Okay. We are going to factor x minus 2 squared plus 7 times x minus 2 plus 12. Plus 12. Okay. So we're doing the same thing up here, except now we don't have an x to the fourth. Okay. But when I cover these up, if you use your imagination, wouldn't it be nice if I just plugged an x in right here and an x in right here, and then that'd be something we could solve? Okay, well, instead of an x, why don't we set u equal to x minus 2? Now plug u in. Plug u into this equation everywhere we see an x minus 2, or substitute u in. Substitute. So we're substituting u in for x minus 2. So when we do that, we see we have something we can handle. We need two numbers now that multiply to be 12, and they add to be 7. Well, 1 times 12 gives us 13, so it's not that one. 2 times 6 gives us 8. 3 times 4 gives us 7. So we know it's these two numbers. So we can jump to u plus 3 and u plus 4. Our number's coming from here. Last step, our last step, plug in our x minus 2 back in for u. So we got x minus 2 plus 3 and x minus 2 plus 4. And that's going to simplify too. So negative 2 plus 3 is x plus 1. X minus 2 plus 4 gives us x plus 2. There's your answer. Nothing to it.